Can you believe it? It is less than a month until the ball drops on 2025, and today we're getting a better idea of what's top of mind for Canadians with YouTube Canada releasing its year in review. And here to break it all down, Zaitoon Murji, Head of Communications for YouTube Canada. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, what are Canadians looking at? Let's talk about what was trending. You have a list of top 10, but we're going to go through some of the 5 that we are seeing, including what's happening or what happens south of the border with the presidential election.
Exactly. So a year on YouTube is our annual celebration of the cultural moments and creators that Canadians watch through the year. And so with past years, we also see this year how YouTube really drove conversation around some of the largest cultural moments. So to your point, the US presidential election, the Olympics, and another really big one this year was the release of Deadpool and Wolverine, which had Canadians watching hours and hours of content.
I'm looking at this list here that we've pulled, just a few items that you've mentioned. Brawl Stars, which is very familiar in my household. And if someone's looking at this list saying, what is that? It's a game that a lot of the kids are playing. And I feel like it was an old one, but it's just been revamped and it's new again. It's a wild one that has just gone viral. I don't want to overuse that term, but are you seeing the emergence of a lot of kids things making their way into the top trends?
Well, we're definitely seeing a huge rise in gaming content every single year. So to your point, Brawl Stars, also Dress to Impress is on the list, and Helldivers 2 as well. And so the fact that 3 of the trending topics in Canada are based on gaming and games is a pretty significant testament to how engaged Canadians are when it comes to gaming.
Let's talk about Sabrina Carpenter, because she made it on all the lists. You didn't see it there in that one, but she was one of the top trends in Canada. She also made it into the top 10, specifically into the top 5 when it came to top songs. So let's take a look at that list.
Yes, Sabrina Carpenter is having an epic year. Her song Espresso made the list this year. And I think Sabrina is an example of this huge surge we're seeing when it comes to pop music. You know, we think about Charlotte Cardin, we think about Taylor Swift, and Sabrina Carpenter is truly kind of the pop star of 2024. We saw these incredible memes develop on that song Espresso on Saturday Night Live. So she really is part of the moment this year when it comes to culture.
When I'm looking at this list, you know what it makes me think? I'm old, because I'm like, what are these songs? But of course, I might not be the one that's necessarily clicking and going, yes, repeat, repeat, repeat. When you compile these lists, how do you look at this data? Is it number of clicks? Is it number of plays? How long people are staying on a video? What do you look at?
So we actually have a culture and trends team, and they do an analysis of across, all these key moments in culture. So movies, memes, music. And what's interesting is that they look at views, they look at uploads, but they also look at creator activity around these topics. So it includes, what Canadians are uploading, but also what Canadians are viewing. So it's a pretty significant analysis of all the content on YouTube.
And there is so much out there, and I'm sure we'll have another chat again in the new year because people will be searching online. Zaitoon Murji with YouTube Canada, thank you so much for this.
Thanks for having me.